Morning.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming.
This is quite a privilege that we get to sit in front of you guys today and with you. Just a little bit of background. I grew up in British Columbia in the Kootenays, in a city called Casper, BC. And after I finished high school, I then went to college and received my diploma in business admin so that I could leave this city. You know how you kind of go through that stage. But I only lasted 9 months in Vancouver. And then shortly after I got married, that lasted about 4 years, and I really learned a lot about myself. And shortly after that, I met Bowen in Castlegar, and we got married in 2003, and we had our Ella Bella in March 13th, 2006. And so not only am I a wife of 6.5 years, I'm a mother to a very feisty, creative ham of a daughter, Ella Bella. And I'm also an advocate to educate, empower, and encourage families about the hope and healing surrounding postpartum depression.
Well, a little bit about myself. Obviously, it's Fort Paterson. I was born and raised in Saskatchewan here, and at the age of 20, I decided to do something with my life, and I took off to Vancouver to get into broadcasting out there. And went to school at BCIT for a couple of years, and then eventually my career took me out to Castlegar, and that's where I did meet Elita. And then after having enough of the broadcast industry, I had an opportunity to come back to the prairies, and Elita joined me, and that's where we ended up settling in Regina. We're very happy here, and been here for, better figure that out, 9 years. So, and don't ever want to leave. So
Yeah, the prairies agree with me. It's beautiful. So, I guess it would really make a difference to hear that my greatest fear in life was labor and delivery. And was I able to be a good mom?
I myself, I guess I had my own, I was nervous about the whole experience about becoming a father. And to me, that word father doesn't come lightly at all. And I take that with great pride of having that badge. And I didn't know whether or not I could live up to being a father, basically. So, I had my own nervousness about the whole situation, and hope I, could be a good father for my family, and a good husband for my wife here too. So I had some trepidation about this whole situation as well, but we learned a lot.
I had no trepidation. That's why I married him. Besides being good in bed. I have to be honest. Are you comfortable now?
That's the overview, so I can't complain. So myself pat on the back.
Okay, so in 2005 or 4, I can't remember anymore, we were talking kids. And so we tried, and it was a good time. But it ended in a miscarriage. And it was quite early on, and if it wasn't so painful, it wouldn't have been as traumatic. But I went through postpartum depression at that point as well, and I didn't realize it at the time. And I took actually quite a lot of work off, closed all the blinds and all that in the house. And because I felt like a huge failure, that I had miscarried right from the start. But then, I took matters in my own hand, and I went through a personal growth program. And 6 months later, after I learned these new tools, we got pregnant. So that was pretty exciting. And I remember we told the news, we went to Edmonton with Ford's folks, and we met with his sister, and we told them there. It was awesome. nauseous enough in the car, and we were driving back from Edmonton, and that's when my nausea started. And it didn't end until, I don't know, 8 months. And I had to eat all the time, even after I had diclectin. And it was debilitating in that I couldn't even move when I was nauseous. I couldn't work. Work brought home my files, printer, everything, and I still could not work. So that's when I took the diclectin. I still was nauseous, and I continued to eat well into like about a month ago. And because that for me was my drug, and that's what calmed me down. So also because we were nervous, we hired ourselves a doula. Totally recommend hiring a doula, especially if it's your first time.
No, I was very happy with the doula. I mean, that put me at ease. We did some work together about what to expect. It was fantastic. It was the best investment we ever had, especially being first-time parents. It was by far the best thing that we did do.
Yeah. Because my labor and delivery being my worst fear, that it was a wonderful experience, actually, as soon as I got an epidural. Yeah, I tried my best. So yeah, Ella was born March 13th, 2006. She came out, and I was very thrilled. And I'm like, here, our Ella Bella is here. And it was just fantastic. She did have meconium. It was extracted, and, they brought us a very weepy, sad, crying baby. And we were both looking at one another. Oh my goodness.
When's she going to stop crying? And she did stop crying, I think, it was about 3 years later. So
that's when she stopped crying.
Yeah, we had to deal with, she's a great bundle of joy and everything else, but just crying a lot and didn't sleep at all. And anything that disrupted her routine, you'd hear about it for hours, screaming.
Yeah, many times were very hard for us. We realized at 18 months that she had night terrors since she was an infant. And that was horrifying because she would be screaming and we had no way of comforting her. We did all the 5 S's, soothing, sigh, and we swaddled her like nobody's business. She was a burrito. For quite some time. So after delivery, I was moved into the mother and baby unit, and I was able to rest for about an hour. And a nurse came in and brought Ella and said, "Somebody's hungry," and left. And I'm like, I didn't even have it within me to say, "Can you come back?" There were 3 other women. I didn't want to wake them either. It was quite early in the morning, and I was stunned. And I'm like, well, thank goodness there's a poster on the wall. Thank goodness breast is best. This is my first time breastfeeding. That right there, my anxiety went through the roof. And so I had to breastfeed her on my own, like the first time, and I just read the poster, and it was painful. And I thought, am I doing something wrong? Like, I don't get this. And then our doula, yes, we had our doula, but she was with us all night, so we let her go, obviously. And so finally, when a nurse came, she just basically put Ella's head to my boob, just shoved her in there. And I'm like, oh, that's how you breastfeed. Okay. What I want to say about that, though, there has been a great campaign about breast is best, but I have to tell you, the guilt that instills in people when it doesn't go well is enormous. This needs to stop.